This video is going to be another stock chart analysis video, and here are the 10 stocks na pag-uusapan ko. So the basis of this stock chart analysis is the previous closing prices of October 27. So kung meron kayong mga stocks na gustong mapag-usapan pero wala sa video na to, you can just comment down below and pag-uusapan natin yan sa mga succeeding stock chart analysis videos. So punta na muna tayo sa PSEI para sa overall market conditions. So, the last time that I did a stock chart analysis video, yung naging basis ko for that analysis is yung October 22 na candle, and I mentioned there that the PSEI was still moving sa kanyang downward channel na move. So, ito yan, yung upper part ng downward channel niya and then yung bottom part. And it was not good na nag-break down yung PSEI sa MA20 because it could indicate further consolidation or a downward move. So, after 3 trading days, ayun nga yung nangyari. Dumire-diretso pababa yung PSEI and it's now out sa box na kinecreate niya, no? Ng halos for the whole month of October. So, during the morning session, up to the afternoon session ng October 27, nagkaroon ng bentahan ulit yung PSEI with large volume. And somehow, nagkaroon ng pagbawi and it was making a support around this level sa 5905, which was the previous support last month nung September 30. But still, the strong support area here is yung kanyang 5860 na levels up to the 57 levels. And this is a very crucial area already because ito pa yung pandemic lows na support ng PSEI. So ngayon, it looks like the PSEI is going to be inside a consolidation na lumaki na, no? So ito siya. So this means the PSEI can either range in this direction or move lower, no, if things don't improve. And the only time that I would consider na malakas na talaga yung market at naka-recover na siya is if it goes above your 6-3 levels, no. So medyo malayo-layo pa because of all the selling that has been happening. So let's see kung mag-hold na talaga finally itong mga prices na to at magta-try man lang siya at least, no, to break out dito sa box na to or kahit breakout lang dito sa downward channel na ginagawa niya this trading week up until next week. So, punta tayo sa unang stock na pag-uusapan natin. So, that's DigiPlus. So, for DigiPlus, the last time na napag-usapan ko yung stock na to, around 2 weeks ago. So, nung October 15 pa. And during this period, it was creating a consolidation, no? So, of course, the bias there is magkakaroon lang siya ng consolidation. So, nangyari nga yun up until October 20. So, nag-hold yung area na yan. Tapos, hindi na niya nakayanan, no? Nagkaroon ng breakdown nung October 21 and dire-diretso nga yung pagbaba niya. So, yung na-plot kasi natin dito na support niya is yung double bottom niya previously and it looks like it's finding support near the S1. So, yung mga lows niya so far in the past few days, 19.28 and 19.32. But the strong support here is nasa 18.30, no? So, medyo malapit siya dun. So, ngayon, we're going to adjust the levels for plus because I think this area, which had a double bottom, no, in the short term, could now act as the resistance for this stock. So, nasa 23 price area malapit yan, no? So, gagawin ko na tong R1 because I think this is the resistance already. And then, I think itong upper part ng range niya sa 26.4 na area, no, 26.35 pataas, which is of course the swing high in the upper part of the range. I think this is going to be the resistance too for plus. And yung mga previous resistances niya, syempre, i-adjust ko na yan at gagawin ko ng R3 at R4. So, as the days go by, mas grabe yung kailangan butasin ng plus, no? Kung gusto pa niyang makapunta sa price above 35. Sa ngayon kasi, meron siyang resistance dito, may resistance dito, and then may R3. So, that's already 3 structure resistances. And we're seeing that your MA20 and MA50 is acting as the moving resistance, no? And nakaabang rin yung MA100 even before the price reaches 35. So, ibig sabihin, halos 6 na resistances yun, no? So, of course, you don't expect plus to go back sa 35 levels in just a span of a few days, no? Baka buwan pa yung aabutin. At hindi niya magagawa yun kung walang magandang sentiment. But the thing is, walang lumalabas na kahit anong disclosure or sentiment to entice investors or even traders to enter the stock, no? Karamihan ng mga pumapasok dito dito, binebentahan lang din kaagad. So, that's very unfortunate na mahirapan siyang makapunta sa 35 price area. Kasi mukhang bebentahan lang din to if it reaches your resistance levels. So, of course, the level to watch here is S1 because if this makes a breakdown, then wala nang ibang support kundi itong S2 niya. So, yung around 13.8 na price area which is the previous support nung July 18 pa. So, next up, MBT. So, for MBT, the last time that I reviewed this stock, last month pa, no? So, medyo matagal-tagal na din, September 17 pa. So, during this period, I plotted na MBT was moving inside a consolidation, pero yung general move niya is a downward channel, no? So, ang ganda sana nung galaw niya, nag-breakout siya dun sa channel niya, along with the consolidation here. But, nagkaroon lang din ulit ng bentahan, no? After a few days. So, ngayon, nakalabas na siya dun sa downward channel move niya, pero walang masyadong nagiging difference in price. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove yung channel niya na to, kasi hindi naman na yan yung galaw niya, no? And I'm also going to remove this consolidation here, and this arrow. Tapos, para sa akin, tatanggalin ko na tong R1, since clearly, it's not respecting this area as a key resistance area, no? So, when I removed those drawings, it's very clear kung ano yung ginagawa ng MBT. It's simply just ranging between your S1 and the R2 previously, no? So, ang gagawin ko ngayon, yung R2, gagawin ko ng R1 to because I think this is the main resistance for this stock at its current price levels. So, this means yung R3, gagawin ko ng R2 and of course, yung R2 niya, syempre yun ay magiging R3 for this stock. And wala akong babaguhin dito sa support levels niya because it's still the bottom part of the range. But I'm just going to add a line here kasi nagkaroon siya ng halos triple bottom, no, in the short term. So it's possible that the S1 is actually a range, which is the previous support here na nagkaroon ng double bottom and you can consider that as a triple bottom already. And then, itong area na to, no? So, that means from 67.24, 67.25 up to 68.08 or 68.10. This is the major support for MBT. So, if we see that the market goes down further, nag-breakdown siya sa S1, then I can see that S2 is the next support for MBT because there was a previous double bottom sa area na to, no? So, that's already your strong structure support. So, if the market improves, which is unlikely, but if it does, then I can see that MBT can test yung R1 resistance and even break out from this area, no? So, tingnan natin in the coming days or weeks if it can make a breakout dito sa R1 resistance. So, next up, SGP. So, for SGP, the last time I talked about this stock, around 3 weeks ago, so nung October 2 pa. And if you're able to watch that video, ang na-mention ko nga doon is SGP needs to close above, no, yung MA20 niya kasi nagkaroon na ng breakdown. And once it closes above the MA20, dapat hindi na siya mahulog. So, it would have been better if yung SGP nagkaroon ng consolidation dito. But that didn't happen. Yung consolidation halos dito nangyari, no, sa maliit na area na to. And nagkaroon pa rin ng breakdown. And now, dire-diretso yung pagbaba niya. So, I was able to plot the support here sa S1 around 14.98 and 15 price area. So, nung October 20, nag-support pa, no? Saktong-sakto yung 15 na low niya. But, unfortunately, ang lakas talaga nung bentahan nung October 21 and it went straight to this area here sa S2 which is the current support for this stock. So ngayon nagkakaroon ng support sa S2 along with your MA100, no. So your S2 kasi previously is a major resistance nung January 17 pa. So basically binalikan niya yung previous 52-week high niya, no. So this means that we're going to remove yung S1 and then I'm going to change this as the resistance 1 already. And this previous resistance na R1, tatanggalin ko na. And then, I'm going to plot a range here. Kasi ito yung ginawa niyang range before, no? Tapos, gagawin ko na tong R2, yung levels na to. And then, the range here, yan yung gagawin kong R3. And yung 52-week high niya, gagawin ko na tong R4. So, the current support for SGP is S2. So, gagawin ko ng S1 yan. And ano yung next possible na support na nakikita ko for SGP? So, meron kasi tayong previous consolidation dito, no? So, para sa akin, around 12.36. This could be the next strong support for this stock. So, ibig sabihin, pag nabutas yung MA100, no, hindi ako magugulat pag napuntahan niya yung price level na to, yung S2. So, if you've been watching my previous videos as well, you already know na I had a position sa SGP. So, I was able to buy, no, during the first week of August, and paunti-unti ako nagbenta, no, during the periods na nagkakaroon na siya ng mga bentahan. So, fortunately, I was able to sell my position sa SGP before pa nagkaroon ng mga major sell down. So, nakalabas naman ako sa SGP, no, with significant gains. And ngayon, wala na talaga akong hawak. So, if you want to know how I approached SGP, make sure to watch until the end of this video para malaman nyo on how you can become a member of this channel and have exclusive access to trades that I've done and stocks that I'm currently monitoring to buy. So the next stock, Costco. So for Costco, the last time that I talked about the stock, October 17. So, a few days back lang. So, kung mapapansin nyo yung mga drawings na plot ko dito. So, ang inaabangan kasi natin na pwedeng maging galaw ng Costco is a head and shoulders pattern if it makes a breakdown sa S1 support niya, no, and the S2 support. So, kitang-kita nyo na talagang sinundan niya, no, yung galaw ng mga drawings na nilagay ko. So, currently, it's at the neckline support, which is this level sa 6.93. So, of course, sinusundan niya itong arrow na ginawa ko. And in order to fulfill the head and shoulders pattern, it needs to increase in price, no? Either magre-resist siya above ng S2 or magre-resist siya dito sa S1, which then can make the stock move lower, no? Pabalik dito sa neckline. And if it completes the breakdown below 7, the price can go lower towards 5.95. So, tatanggalin ko lang itong consolidation na ginagawa ng Costco since nag-breakdown na siya. So, hindi na valid itong sideways movement niya dito, no? And then, this S1 here, tatanggalin ko na because I'm now going to consider this as a resistance again. So, lalagyan ko to ng R lang muna. And then, the S2 support previously, gagawin ko na tong R1 because I think it's the main resistance sa ngayon, no? So, R1 na yan. And the previous level earlier na R lang. So, gagawin kong R2. And then, this R1, I'm going to put it as R3. So, ngayon, of course, the support area for this stock is this level, which is around 6.89 and near the 7 price area, no? So, ibig sabihin, a few ticks away na lang, magso-support na yung Costco dito sa level na to, no? So, if you're curious how I was able to plot this 14% na price target, it's very simple. Pag plinot mo kasi ng price range, yung peak ng Costco, so that's around 7.90 towards this level, and you're just going to put the price range doon sa breakdown, you're going to reach this level here. So, kaya ganun. And it coincides with a support here also, no? So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-breakdown yung Costco sa S1, then potentially, magkaroon pa siya ng support dito sa 650 na level, no? Yan yung S2. So, ibig sabihin, itong level na to, around sa price target area, is yan yung magiging nating S3. Pag hindi talaga napigilan yung S2 na price, no? So, does this mean tataas pa yung Costco towards 7.17 or 7.40? That's possible if magkaroon pa siya ng malakas na buying, no? Para tumaas pa. But of course, if the selling is really strong, it can skip the head and shoulders pattern at dumire-diretso na pababa. So, in order to negate this head and shoulders pattern, Costco needs to close above 7.40 tapos hindi na siya bumalik sa ilalim. So, kapag tumaas kasi yung Costco tapos dito siya nagkaroon ng consolidation, there's a chance na makapag-breakout pa siya above ng 8, no? But if magre-resist lang yung R1 and then R2, then it's possible na i-create niya nga talaga yung head and shoulders na pattern. So, next stock, BDO. So, for BDO, the last time that I talked about this stock, September 19, so more than a month ago. And during this period, no, ang ganda nung galaw ng market, kaya galing sa lows na price niya nung first week September, dumire-diretso talaga pataas yung stock. Unfortunately, napigilan siya, no, ng MA100. Tapos, binawi lang din yung gains na nagawa ng BDO. So, for now, I'm going to remove yung S2 na price because this was the support, and then S1 din tatanggalin ko na since hindi siya nag-support, and yung S3 i-maintain ko to na support because it looks like this level is supporting for BDO. So gagawin ko na tong S1, and I'm seeing that ito yung potential na resistance ngayon ng BDO, yung 142.85 na area and then 140.15. So, yan yung gagawin kong R1. So, kitang-kita naman natin sobrang daming selling na nangyayari dyan, no? And then, for your R2, I think this area will become your R2 since previous resistance naman at kita natin na nagkaroon talaga ng bentahan, no? And also, your 153.90 could act as the resistance since my previous support. So, ibig sabihin range yan, no? From 150.90 up to 153.90. Yan yung R2 ng BDO. So ngayon, if the S1 does not support the stock because of the heavy selling na nangyayari sa market, let's see kung ano yung next na support ng BDO. So it's very clear na meron tayong support sa 127 price levels. So this could be your S2. And then after that, I'm seeing this area sa 122 as the possible S3, no? So, magkakalapit na lang halos. So, ibig sabihin, if S1 doesn't hold, then we might see BDO reaching either 127 price levels or 122 price levels. So, of course, this will be negated if somehow BDO makes a breakout sa 142 levels, no? So, sa 144, 145. Because if that happens, above na siya ng R1 and above na siya sa lahat ng moving averages. So, it could probably propel the stock to reach 150 price area if it holds above 144 and 145. Pero sa ngayon, mukhang mahina talaga yung BDO because of what's happening sa market. So, next stock. So, BPI, the last time na napag-usapan ko to, October 15. And during this period, it was actually supporting sa S2. And yung ina-anticipate nga natin na gagawin niya is magko-consolidate lang. So, it was actually consolidating, no, up until October 23 because the following trading day after that, yung October 24, nagkaroon ng grabbing sell down, no? And it went to the S3 support, which is of course the S1 support sa ngayon. So I'm going to remove itong box because clearly wala na siyang ginagawang consolidation along with your S2 and your S1. So tatanggalin ko na yan. And we're going to adjust the levels of BPI as well. So I'm going to adjust this R1 at gagawin ko muna siyang R lang, no? Because clearly that's a resistance but hindi pa natin na-identify kung anong number siya. So, it looks like BPI is moving in a downward channel. So, kita naman natin yan na ito yung channel na ginagawa niya. And ito naman yung upper part trend line ng kanyang downward channel, no? So, ibig sabihin, it looks like BPI is moving towards this direction if hindi mag-hold yung S1, no? So, we can see that this is the point B of the upper part ng kanyang downward channel. So, of course, this is going to be the R1 for me. So, yung plinat natin na R lang kanina, R2 na to. And, syempre, ito, gagawin na nating R3. And R3, syempre magiging ng R4. So, what will happen if BPI makes a breakdown sa S1? Ano yung next na support? So, let's look towards the left. So, it's very clear na this area here is going to be your support next. So, S2. And another one here sa 95. So, I could probably plot this as the S2 range for BPI. So, eto, no. So, ibig sabihin, if the market keeps going lower, if it reaches 5.8 below, 5.7, then you can potentially see BPI going to these levels. At hindi malabong mangyari because it's still part of the downward channel move niya, no. Andito pa rin yung bottom part ng trend line. So, it actually coincides with the S2 support. So, pwede pa palang pumunta yung BPI ng 96 price area towards 98.35, no, pag humina yung market. So, of course, this will be negated if BPI goes above 119, 120. So, much like BDO, that means nalagpasan niya yung mga major resistance levels along with all your moving averages. Kasi sa ngayon, pinipigilan ng MA20 at MA50 yung BPI. So, the market really needs to recover, no, para magawa ng BPI yan. And I don't see BPI going above these levels until the market itself makes a breakout or a very good rally. Kagaya ng napag-usapan ko kanina. So, next stock, that's Dito. So for dito, the last time na napag-usapan ko siya October 15, so several days ago pa. And during this period, napag-usapan ko na yung R1, which is 0.92, is acting as the resistance for this stock. And sabi ko nga, a good move for dito is supposed to be a breakout dito sa downward channel niya. Kasi kung hindi niya gagawin yan, of course, it can either do a long consolidation or move lower. And it looks like it's making a move lower and nakakahanap siya ng support dito sa bottom part ng downward channel niya, no? So, I think there's still no difference sa aking bias when it comes to dito. So, it still needs to break out from this trend line sa upper part in order for it to move outside ng kanyang downward channel move. So, it really needs to close above 1 sa ginagawa niyang move ngayon. Pero mukhang mahirapan because there's already your R1 resistance between 0.92 and 0.97. Tapos, andun pa yung resistance sa upper part ng trend line. And then, humahabol na yung MA20, MA50, and MA100. So, of course, this needs to make a breakout, no? Parang BPI at BDO lang. It needs to go above this level because that would mean above na siya sa lahat ng resistances and above na sa lahat ng MAs. So, ano yung pwedeng mangyari if the price here sa bottom part ng trend line is mabutas? So, for example, mag-breakdown siya dyan tapos hindi nag-support itong bottom part ng trend line niya. So, let's look kung ano pa yung potential support ng dito. So, andito na tayo sa pinaka-left na side ng chart ng dito and unfortunately, wala na siyang ibang support. So, actually, yung 0.92 na nga, yung last support niya supposedly. Pero, nag-breakdown doon. So, ngayon, resistance na siya ulit. So, isa lang ibig sabihin yan, if this makes a breakdown sa bottom part pa ng trend line niya, the next psychological support could be the areas of 0.7, 0.6, and 0.5. So, potential lang naman na maging psych support yan, no? And wala masyadong bearing because there's no structure support to help the stock. So, ito, mga psych support na lang to, no? So, we're just anticipating na baka dyan pulutin ng mga traders. So, those are the possible support lines for dito. So, lalagyan ko na lang to ng psych support at 0.50, 0.60, 0.70 para mas clear, no? Because I don't want to label all of them as S1, S2, S3 kasi wala naman structure support at psych lang silang lahat. So, ayan yung pwedeng gawin ng dito, no? So, make or break. Either make a breakout para makasurvive or pag nag-breakdown siya, ito yung pupuntahan niyang mga prices. So, next stock, Keeper. So, for Keeper, the last time na napag-usapan ko yung stock na to, so first week pa ng October, so October 3, and I was able to plot the support here sa S2 and S3. So, naging support kasi yung S2, syempre, dahil meron tayong support dyan nung April 8, and yung S3, meron tayong support dyan nung January 24. So, nothing has changed that much for Keeper. Nasa loob pa rin siya nung sobrang laking downward channel move niya. And as expected, the downward channel move is supporting for this stock along with your S2 support. So, previously kasi, ang major support nito itong S1. And nagso-support naman siya, no, during September 30 up to October 3. Unfortunately, nagkaroon ng breakdown ng October 6 and hindi pa siya nakakabawi or tumatagal above your S1, no? So, for me, I'm going to treat the S1 level as the resistance sa ngayon. So, gagawin ko ng R1 itong area na to along with the 2.51 area kasi mukhang may mini consolidation siya dito eh. So, ito, no? So, ibig sabihin, range resistance yung 2.47 to 2.51. And it looks like I need to adjust also the pattern for Keeper because it looks like aside from the downward channel move, nagke-create siya ng falling wedge pattern, no? So, ito. So, point A and point B. So, both still leading towards the S2 support. So, ibig sabihin ito, for Keeper, it needs to make a breakout sa 2.51 na level, no? Para magkabuhay yung stock at ma-prevent yung formation ng falling wedge. Because if the price makes a breakdown dito sa S2, so if we're going to look for the price pattern target, no, ng falling wedge na to, I'm just going to plot S2 here. Then, potentially, Keeper can reach the levels of around 2.08. And that is because of the falling wedge pattern. Tapos, sumasabay din talaga sa support, no? Kasi may previous consolidation to sa area na to eh. So medyo malapit siya dun sa bottom part ng range between 2.01, 2.02 towards 2.08 level. So posibleng ito yung S4 na price area niya. So if it makes a breakout dito sa R1, at least na-negate yung falling wedge na pattern but it's still inside this consolidation na ginagawa niya and the downward channel move. So, ang maganda talagang gawin ng keeper of course is for it to break out sa labas ng downward channel para magpatuloy yung uptrend. Pero mukhang nahihirapan siya doon because of how the market is doing. Mukhang nabebentahan siya and a lot of people are already taking their profits kasi ang ganda nung naging galaw nito, no? Ever since 2025. So, let's see. Very crucial trading week for keeper. Iniiwasan natin na magkaroon siya ng breakdown, no? So, at least man lang mag-hold yung S2 for this week and kung next week kaya niya mag-break out towards 2.51 to prevent the very bearish signal that the pattern is creating. So, next up, Double Dragon. So for Double Dragon, the stock is currently making a consolidation, no? So ito kasi yung current price area kung saan siya gumagalaw. So nagkakaroon ng overshoot na breakdown pero na-hold naman niya yung prices. So the lowest price na pinuntahan niya since the start of August is 8.83. So potentially this could be a support. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng maging yung support natin is a range, no? From 8.83 towards the price of 9. So, yan yung ating S1, which coincides with the bottom part of the range. So, of course, the R1 for this stock is itong upper part ng range niya, which is 10. So, sakto rin sa psych resistance, no? So, yan yung R1. And potentially, the R2 is around this area sa 10.67 towards 10.48. So, this is R2. And if the price makes a breakdown sa S1, then this could reach 8.07 na area. So, ayan yung S2 ng Double Dragon, no? So, sa ngayon, wala pang masyadong ginagawa yung stock. It's just that medyo mataas yung volume na ginawa niya nung October 10, no? Tapos ngayon, mataas yung ginalaw ng price. So, it made a jump but the volume is really not that impressive. Halos average volume lang siya, no? So, ibig sabihin, hindi ganun kalakas yung market participation. But still, that's a good thing na nagkaroon siya ng mataas na galaw despite the market moving downwards, no? So, what I'd like to see from Double Dragon is kailangan mag-breakout siya dito sa R1. And ultimately, if it breaks out sa 10.67 and it holds the price here, so magiging magandang move yan, no? Because the stock will be above all the resistances and above all the moving averages as well. So potentially that could lead into a short-term to medium-term uptrend. So for the last stock, that's CNPF. So for CNPF, the last time na napag-usapan ko yung stock na to, October 2. And yung bias ko noon, magkakaroon lang siya ng consolidation. So it was inside this box for almost 3 weeks up until today, October 27, because it made a breakdown, no? So, syempre, CNPF is part of the PSEI. So, syempre, damay-damay sa market, no? So, I'm going to remove this consolidation because it already made a breakdown. So, di-delete ko na yan. And potentially, your S1 is now the R1 resistance. Syempre, role reversal. So, that means itong resistance na ginawa ko before na R1, syempre, R2 na yan. And your R2 range resistance will become R3. So, ibig sabihin, if the market moves lower, your S2 will become your S1, no? And the S3 support is now yung S2 natin. So, I think if the market moves lower, sabi ko nga kanina, no, below 5.8, near 5.7 areas, then it's very much possible na balikan ng CNPF yung mga prices niya na to. Yung 32.76 up to 31.60. So, we can also see that CNPF, no, might be moving towards a falling wedge na pattern or a downward channel. So, ito siya. So, pag nagtuloy-tuloy yung bentahan, pwedeng mapuntahan niya ng mas maaga yung S1. But if it follows this downward channel move, then potentially we can see improvement sa CNPF pag nalagpasan niya yung upper part ng trend line niya, which I think can only happen pag nagawa rin ng PSEI na makalabas sa downward channel move or at least man lang, no, go above your MA20 and MA50. So, potentially, the target for CNPF is S1 if the bearishness continues. So if you want to have exclusive access sa mga videos na pinag-usapan ko yung mga stocks na trade ko at yung mga stocks na binabantayan kong bilhin, you can click towards the left to become an exclusive member of this channel sa Momentum tier. Or if you want to watch yung mga previous videos, you can click towards the right. Also, if you're interested in how to trade, how to buy and sell stocks, you can check the pinned comment sa comment section. Also, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel.